Binance and several other crypto exchanges, including Kraken, are facing a significant lawsuit in London's Competition Appeal Tribunal. This case represents over 200,000 Bitcoin Satoshi Vision, or BSV, owners, accusing these exchanges of colluding to delist BSV. Today's episode is sponsored by Cake Wallet, where you can send, receive, and even exchange your crypto right from within the wallet. Cake Wallet is open source and non-custodial, so you control your own private keys, available today on iOS, macOS, Android, and Linux. And StealthEX, a privacy-centric crypto exchange which enables you to make crypto-to-crypto exchanges anonymously. Good evening everybody, and a warm welcome again back to Enter Crypto with me, Chris Kenyon. Now in today's video we're going to be talking about a $13 billion UK lawsuit brought against Binance and a few other exchanges actually. So as always guys, let's quickly read through this article and then we can see what we can learn and comment after. So, crypto exchange Binance on Wednesday sought to throw out the vast majority of a London lawsuit worth up to £10 billion or $12.8 billion over claims it and other exchanges colluded to delist the Bitcoin Satoshi Vision cryptocurrency. Binance and exchanges included Kraken are being sued at London's Competition Appeal Tribunal in a case brought on behalf of over 200,000 BSV owners. Lawyers representing BSV claims a vehicle set up to pursue the case say the exchanges engaged in anti-competitive behaviour to delist BSV in 2019. They argue the move caused the value of BSV to plummet and prevented it becoming a top-tier cryptocurrency, valuing that part of the claim at up to £9 billion. BSV claims lawyers said the exchanges were not opposing the case being certified under the UK's collective proceedings regime, which is roughly equivalent to the US class action regime. Such certification would be just the first step in the lawsuit. But Binance has asked the CAT to throw out the part of the case about BSV's alleged potential to become a major cryptocurrency, which is being brought on behalf of people who kept BSV after it was delisted. Binance's lawyer Brian Kennelly said that people who kept BSV had made an entirely voluntary decision and that they could reasonably have sold it and reinvested it in a comparable cryptocurrency, Kennelly added. BSV claims lawyers argued in court that documents that the issue should proceed to trial with the rest of the case. And Binance declined to comment on ongoing litigation. A spokesperson for Kraken said the lawsuit was baseless. Binance, Kraken and other exchanges delisted BSV in 2019, partly in response to claims by Australian computer scientist Craig Wright, who was associated with BSV, that he was the pseudonymous inventor of Bitcoin known as Satoshi Nakamoto. So here we've got a couple of 100,000 BSV owners that have kept hold of their BSV tokens after Binance, Kraken and a few other exchanges have basically decided to delist it in 2019. And Binance are basically pushing back now and saying that actually the part about that it could become a top tier cryptocurrency, Binance are now saying that that's well, not that it's not true, but that they could have just sold it and then actually just bought another top tier, you know, maybe like Bitcoin, Ethereum, something like that. So they voluntarily held on to this the BSV tokens, and so they're asking for it to be that's part of the case to be thrown out. So there are basically claims of collusion between the exchanges. So whether you like BSV, whether you don't like BSV, that's not what I'm about. I'm not here to hate on projects or to knock other crypto tokens. You know, everybody's got their own favorite currency and token. So you know, all power to you if you like BSV. If you don't, you don't. I don't hold any. I've never held any personally. I've never bought any BSV. I've never sold any BSV, obviously because I've never had it. But what concerns me here is if it's true, of course, it's got to go through the trial, is that Binance and Kraken would and other cryptocurrencies might actually collude and purposefully to delist something, because it does negatively impact the value of a coin or of an asset. So that's quite worrying that they would do that. Now, if they are found to be in the wrong here, they are basically facing damages, the crypto exchanges that is, of around £10 billion. So we are talking, a huge. This is a huge amount of money if they do have to pay up at the end of the trial. So this will actually make it one of the, if not the largest claims within crypto that I can remember. And now Binance is actually seeking to have the majority of this lawsuit dismissed. So it's not just the part about it being a top tier cryptocurrency that they're trying to get rid of. They're obviously, they obviously would like to get rid of the whole thing, but they're actually putting motions in to have the majority of this lawsuit dismissed. That'll obviously be up to a judge to decide whether it will be or not. But Binance hasn't made any legal arguments public for why they want, they haven't detailed why they want the other parts of the case dismissed. But most likely, I would think, because it's the worst part about it is they're going to be trying to challenge this basis and evidence of collusion, because that will be dangerous if they get caught doing that. And so, just so anybody knows, because a lot of people may or may not have heard of the Competition Appeal Tribunal, or CAT as they're calling it, and it's just basically it's in London, and it specialises in handling complex competition law cases. So this is obviously competition, and the kind of colluding is anti-competition, obviously. Because if you've got 2 or 3 or 4 exchanges all trying to work in tandem or in uniform or in sync with each other purposefully, and they're, each one of them knows what's going on, it could be seen as manipulating the price of something, and that's not competitive, obviously, for the market. It's not up to them to be able to say. It's up to the buyers and the sellers, and it's up to the free market to decide that. So they can get in a lot of trouble if they get found out that they've been doing something like this. I don't know if they have been doing something like this, obviously, but this, if they're found to be doing it, this would be anti-competitive behaviour. So at the moment, this is what's called a certification process, and certification under the UK's collective proceedings regime is a type of it's a preliminary pre-step in any lawsuit. And if it does get certified, it'll move forward as what is known as a collective action, which will then, in this case, enable the BSV holders to pursue their claims properly. And what will happen then, if they do this and the lawsuit proceeds and the plaintiffs succeed, then it'll actually set a precedent for, it'll affect how crypto exchanges operate, and probably how they're regulated as well, particularly concerning decisions to list or delist digital assets. They'll have to really think carefully about what they're going to list, and certainly what they're going to delist after this, because they won't want to be in court again, and they'll have set a precedent for future court cases to go by. And so I think they'll put a lot more thought into what they'll list and delist going forward. And so another interesting thing here is that the exchanges, in their defence, they're not actually opposing the certification. So they're not actually trying to get, so there must be some evidence here, because they're not trying to get the case completely thrown out. So they're actually, their strategy here is focusing on dismissing the bulk of the claims, but not all of them. So you have to ask that question. I haven't seen any of the evidence, obviously. But, why wouldn't you, unless there's real proving that you've done some of these things, then why wouldn't you try and get the whole thing thrown out? So we'll see anyway. We'll see what happens. I'll definitely keep you all updated when this, if it gets to court and if it gets through, goes through the whole process. But it could, for us anyway, important things for us to know is that it could actually have far-reaching consequences. Only in the UK, of course. This is just UK law, but it probably will, as I say, influence the regulatory environment and the operational practices of exchanges within the UK. And actually, it may have further consequences, consequences for how exchanges operate globally, because a lot of the UK is actually seen as a kind of hub of the world. And I don't just mean a crypto hub, but with law and education and all kinds of things. Lots of other companies that copy our systems. And so you might see that other companies will, excuse me, not companies, other countries may adopt the regulations that we come up with. Now, that's what I've got for you today, guys. As always, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and click on that notifications bell so that you don't miss out on any future updates. And I'll see you all tomorrow. Take care.